Sometimes even the great Hippocrates got things wrong, big time. Most critically, Hippocrates believed that illness was caused by an imbalance of the four humors: blood, black bile, yellow bile, and phlegm. A theory that would come to plague doctors and their patients until the 19th century. Still, medical thought and practice flourished, with a few detours along the way. A few hundred years after Hippocrates came Galen, the great Greek anatomist living in Rome. He was forbidden by law to dissect human bodies, but his work with animals, mostly pigs, showed for the first time, from the inside, how living things actually worked. What follows is a brief description of a few ancient medical practices and ideas before and after Hippocrates. Some worked, some didn't, but all provide a good jumping-off point for the even stranger things to come. The Power of Babel. They lay him in the public square, and the passers-by come up to him. And if they have ever had his disease themselves, they give him advice, recommending him to do whatever they found good in their own case, or in the case known to them. And no one is allowed to pass the sick man in silence without asking him what his ailment is. Greek historian Herodotus, writing of Babylonian medicine. In ancient Babylonia, sick people either got better or died, with little help from their medicine or their magic. From clay tablets fortuitously baked to stone during a fire, we know that Babylonian shamans, the Asipu, and the physicians, the Asu, often worked together, though the Asipu seem to have received the most attention. Believing that some illnesses came from troublemaking gods and demons, and others from a person's own bad behavior, the Asipu determined why a person had become sick and prescribed a course of treatment. For guidance, an Asipu might look for omens on the way to an ailing patient's house. Say, the lifting of a pig's tail. Once the Asipu arrived, he'd root through his client's personal life. According to fragmentary accounts found in the tablets, an Asipu might find that a patient had had sex with his mother or his neighbor's wife, or had cheated someone by saying no for yes and yes for no. Or maybe he'd had his spit stolen by a witch, or been seized by the ghost of someone burned alive. To chase illness away, an Asipu would cast spells and chant chants. Sometimes he'd mix healing potions together in a leather bag, perhaps adding the hair of a black dog or a dirty menstrual rag. One tablet speaks of pig manure to be worn around the neck, and another speaks of a cure for teeth grinding, sleeping next to a human skull for 7 days, and kissing and licking the skull 7 times each night. Adudgupi, mother of King Nabonidus, once said, 104 happy years. My eyesight was good, my hearing excellent, my words well chosen, food and drink agreed with me. My health was fine, and my mind happy. I had my fill. Ms. Goopy might have been a tad optimistic, but Babylonian healers did the best they could with what they had. Die like an Egyptian. The elite had their specialists, such as the shepherd of the anus and physician of the belly. But even for them, life in ancient Egypt was difficult and short, and, as in Babylonia, there wasn't much that doctors could do about it. On the plus side, cancer wasn't much of a scourge, because few people lived long enough to get it. From the Smith Papyrus, we know that head wounds were treated with fresh meat, and for a headache, the Cahoon Papyrus prescribed goose fat rubbed into the eyes, with a helping of jackass liver. A person with a toothache would have a dead mouse stuffed down their throat. People with cataracts had hot broken glass poured into their eyes, a treatment that actually worked, and ingrown eyelashes were rubbed with bat's blood. The fat of a lion, hippo, crocodile, cat, serpent, and ibex were mixed together for both.